the thing about happiness. It doesn't just involve powder blue skies and rainbows. As a 15-year-old, I have lots to learn and indulge, which includes the high school experience, but I know enough to understand happiness. The question we ask ourselves from time to time is, what is happiness? What exactly is it that makes us happy? And why is it so important? Maybe I'll be happy if I get this new MacBook. Maybe I'll be happy if I get a job promotion. Maybe I'll be happy if I live in a mansion. Or maybe if I get accepted to an Ivy League, I'll be happy. See, that's where there's a problem. It isn't about achieving a goal. It's about finding out what's important to you and applying it in your life. The downside about happiness is that it's not about feeling good all the time. Like in those Disney utopias, life just isn't going to be smiles and laughter every single minute of the day. But here's the best part. Happiness is inevitable. It happens to every single person in the world, whether you like it or not. You can be happy right now. You were probably happy yesterday. You can be happy tomorrow. But it's not something that comes and goes. It's something you develop and bring back each time. What I'm saying is that the idea of achieving this ultimate happiness isn't a final destination. Happiness doesn't just arrive one day. It's the small efforts you make in order to develop this state of being. This is my friend Nils. He lost the battle with cancer in February 2014. I've known Nils for about 8 years, and although I was never really close with him, I remember how he laughed really loudly and he was just a great guy in general. What really stood out to me during his fight was that he focused more on the quality of life rather than the quantity. Whenever Nils posted a picture of him with the Seahawks or friends and family in the hospital, I imagined being in his position. That happiness would mean spending time with as much people as possible and enjoying the little things in life. This adds on to my point of how happiness shouldn't be seen as a huge steps to a state of being happy, but because we're not entirely perfect and a lot of the times our downs override our ups, it's all about perspective. But in order to become happy with our lives and everything with it, we need to slow down and stop. We all know people who try everything to be happy and they're not happy because they want something else and they want more of the same. And we also know people who have lots of misfortune that we ourselves would not want to have. But they're the most happiest. Why? Because they're grateful. It's not happiness that makes us grateful. It's gratefulness that makes us happy. We have to accept our flaws and understand the situation in order to attain happiness. Not only does this help us become more grateful and happier for a while, but it also changes our way of life to live gratefully and stay happy for a lifetime. For me, moving was probably the biggest experience of my life as a teenager, especially from a place I've grown so emotionally attached to and held all the happiest and saddest moments of my childhood. The funny thing is, I stopped missing home and started to live in the now, in KL, because that's what really matters. An adult I know told me just a few months ago that my happiness is more important on top of everything else. What the person that told me does not know is that I went home that day contemplating about my happiness and if I'm truly happy. As a high school student, it's hard to distinguish between whether I'm happy because I'm grateful or because I'm happy because I received a high grade for something or got accepted to a college. I realized that happiness isn't about something to make someone proud or doing something to earn temporary happiness, but about the willingness to take steps to become happy. Small actions such as waving hello or spending 5 minutes to someone you've never talked to before can really boost one's happiness and outlook on life. In my case, leaving a place where my childhood was built and all my friends are at was extremely excruciating. But I learned that you can't ever be happy if you don't get rid of the negativity and leave space for hope. So what exactly is happiness? And a lot of you may ask, does happiness even exist in this crazy, stressful world? Well, self-confidence, and realistic optimism. Although all of these may sound cliche and have been repeated over and over again, but it's true. You need satisfaction to be proud of every little thing you do, whether it's big or not, going to the gym, opening the door for someone, or getting that A on that essay. You need to have purpose. Everyone in this world has a place and so much to offer that you need to share with them. You need to have self-confidence, believing in yourself and who we are as people, and being resilient with the craziness life throws at us. And what I call realistic optimism. Can we really be happy? We don't have to be perfect to be happy. You can be happy anytime, anywhere, any place, right now. But it all comes from the switch of a light from a negative view to a positive one. When I went to Bhutan, a small country near Tibet, I've learned that the reason why the people there are so incredibly happy and laughing 24/7 is because happiness is placed first beyond everything else in place. Our tour guide, Box, told that there's no point in being upset at things that shouldn't really matter to you. If you really want something, you need to ask yourself, am I happy? Will I be happy once I achieve this? Is it really that important to me? And that's when I knew. We have to ask ourselves, are we happy? Our lives are constantly changing and stay stationary, but not until we stop and ask, what is my happiness? Why should I care? Happiness is so important, yet such a light factor that people tend to forget just how important it is to attain it. For some people, you may think that life is over for you and you have nowhere else to go, but that's not true. Happiness doesn't just disappear into thin air, even when you aren't in your best mood. You just need to encourage it. That way your cloud of negativity will disappear. So here are steps to become happy the right way. It's to stop and go. Stop and slow down so you can live your life in slow motion. And go because you don't want to miss out on the opportunities that could be life-changing and even add to your life. I'm not saying that you should go out there and change the world with your happiness, but I hope that all of you take a part of what I said and do something that matters to you so that your happiness